Hey guys, I'm MageSight, and this is going to be a Dragonheir Silent Gods video. We are on the Season 3 test server, live on stream, and I'm going to go over all the new stuff for Season 3 here. I'll try my best to split this up into several smaller videos for you guys. And of course, as always, if you want to see me live, link to my Twitch channel will be down in the description. Here is the new DPS type for Poison, right? The Poison affinity has now Corrosion. Remember before we had actual poison, the poison debuff. So let's look at it. So here's the champions we have. We have Overlord of Unyielding Silk, Sacredia. I hope I pronounced that right. And as you can see, she has a corrosion tag, being the new DPS type. So let's see if we can see the tooltip of corrosion. Corrosion. The corroded portion of the HP will gradually drain over time. So her passive inflicts 10% attack corrosion to all enemies and then the tooltips are still kind of messed up, right? That's something they're working on. This is the test server. So we're looking at a diamond-shaped battle skill. So the battle skill deals poison damage to enemies within range centered around the enemy and converts 50% of the damage to corrosion. Deals poison damage to enemies within range, diamond shape again. Increases corrosion inflicted on all enemies by 25% up to 1200% of the hero's attack. Deals extra damage equal to 60% of the increased corrosion to all enemies afterwards. So we got Whisk. When under invisibility, damage dealt will be increased by 30% and corrosion will be increased by 15%. Gains invisibility on the battle skill. Strikes the furthest enemy from the hero 3 times. In the meantime, each strike deals poison damage and converts 50% of the damage dealt to corrosion. Ultimate. Gains invisibility for 5 seconds and 15% attack up for 10 seconds. Then strikes enemy within range 7 times, with each strike dealing poison and converts 50% of the damage to corrosion. After that, Rook. Let's look here. Increases damage dealt to enemies with current HP of more than 50% by 30%. Now its battle skill. Summons a giant rat to strike enemies within range dealing poison damage. Deals additional poison damage once for every 10,000 corrosion on the target. Ignores the enemy's shield. Then its ultimate is your diamond shape. Cast a spell 3 times, with each spell dealing poison damage to enemies within range. Deals additional poison damage once for every 10,000 corrosion on the target. Ignores the enemy's shield. We've got Gingu. Inflicts 10% attack, 10% of attack corrosion to the attacker when taking damage. And also increases corrosion inflicted to enemies around the hero by 25%. That's just his passive. Deals poison damage to enemies on his battle skill around himself. Within range, converts 40% of the damage dealt to corrosion. And then on his ultimate, it's a 3x3 square based on his own position and can be, or the 4 directions. Strikes enemies within range 3 times, each strike dealing poison and converting 40% of the damage dealt to corrosion. Okay, we'll look at Dragonheir, Hero No More. Passive. When an enemy inflicts with corrosion dies, the hero gains 15% attack up for 10 seconds and recharges 10% ultimate energy. Strikes an enemy twice, with each strike dealing poison damage and converting 60% of the damage dealt to corrosion. This is his battle skill. So let's go here into the ultimate. 3x3 square, based on his location in 4 directions. Deals poison damage to enemies within range. Deals additional poison damage to enemies inflicted with corrosion. Let's check out Dargo, Sorcerer of Fatality. Alright, let's look at the passive. When attacking enemies whose current corrosion is less than 30% of their max HP with skills, the corrosion damage dealt will be increased by 30%. Battle skill is a single target. Deals 400% attack poison damage to enemies with the current highest corrosion. And converts 50% of the damage dealt to corrosion. Full board AoE on the ultimate. Summons 5 orbs to strike random enemies in turn. Enemies without corrosion will be attacked first. Each strike deals 200 attack poison damage to them and converts 50% of their damage dealt to corrosion. Bloodfanged Warrior Razran. Basic attacks have a 50% chance of dealing additional 100% attack poison damage. This additional damage will be converted to corrosion. Battle skill is a 3x3 square with him in the middle, around himself. Deals 320% attack poison damage to enemies within range and converts 50% of the damage dealt to corrosion. 3x3 square on his ultimate. Deals 240% attack poison damage to enemies within range and converts 50% of the damage dealt to corrosion. Sabrina, Poison Vine. Passive. Converts 25% of the current corrosion to damage immediately when the hero skill deals damage to enemies. Fires an orb that can bounce up to 4 times between enemies, dealing 160% attack poison damage each time and converts 50% of the damage dealt to corrosion. Ultimate. Diamond shaped. Deals 700% attack poison damage to enemies within range and gains 15% attack up for 10 seconds. That's it for corrosion, guys.